Hi everyone, this is Brian Kwong from productlaunchthatworks.com, and today we're going to learn from the amazing Daria Musk. Daria is a singer, songwriter, and speaker, and she joined Google Plus on July 13th, and as of today, October 25th, she has more than 18,000 Google Plus fans, and she built this fan base from scratch, and you see from the video. She created music together with her fans, she launched her first EP, and she became a TED speaker and performer, and much more, all of this in just 3 short months. Well, a big part of this is because Daria do these hangout concerts with Google Plus. And so let's see how Daria did all of this, and let's see what we can learn from her. And here's Daria. I want to know a little bit about like how you get started and your life a little bit before Google Plus, and like how is it like and then now, so we can see a contrast, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. So I think I discovered that I could sing when I was about 9 years old, or I discovered that I loved to sing. I don't think I was very good at the beginning.
I'm like, wow, how'd you know you can sing really well?
No. That's an important lesson right there. Is that if there's something that you love, it's about practice and about dedication. And I was definitely not any kind of a prodigy or anything. I think probably sounded like any other little girl who wanted to sing, but I'm lucky enough that I was raised in a musical household. My mom's a classical flutist, and so I was raised with this understanding of practice, and so that was something I always understood, and it was really kind of the religion in our household is practice. Because religion really means what you practice. So we practice music, so we say we're musicians. You know?
So what were you doing before Google Plus?
So Google Plus, before Google Plus, I was playing, I was writing. I'm actually, I live about an hour and a half outside of New York City in Connecticut, out in the woods. And so I tell people I was basically singing for the trees, you know? I'm like a boomerang, I'm always coming back, no matter how hard you throw. Spotlights circle through the sky, we can never really die. And playing shows everywhere I could. I mean, I think like any singer-songwriter, when you start, you take every possible cafe gig and, every possible club that you can find. And so I had been doing that from a very young age. Like I said, I started writing songs right away. I think I started performing and playing out when I was maybe 15 or 16. Did you ever dream that the sun will rise and look different to you? So, so I was really pounding the pavement and going for it. And I had worked up to a place where I was playing, pretty cool rock clubs like in New York and around here, but nothing too big, And the story is kind of fun. Right before I found out about G+, I had a series of shows that I played leading up to that, and one of them was really amazing. I actually got to open for the guitar player from the E Street Band, from Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. His name is Nils Lofgren. And that was in a big theater. It was like 700 people, and it was amazing. And I actually learned an incredibly valuable, wonderful lesson from him. One of his songs, the line was, "Dream big, work hard, stay humble." And when I met him afterward, I was like, man, that's my new mantra. But the show right before G+ was at a dive bar somewhere in upstate New York, in the middle of nowhere. It was pouring rain.
Wow.
And I get a phone call from my older brother who lives in California, and he says, "Hey, do you need an invitation to Google Plus? Maybe you could be one of the first musicians on there." And I was like, "What's Google Plus? I got to make my sound check. I got to go." And then so after a night of lugging my guitar amps and my gear through the rain and getting drenched, and there's even a photo you can see in my pictures on G+, there's a photo of me with the umbrella, like, and that was just the weekend right before. After all of that, I had a great night, but after that, I went on and I signed on to G+, and I heard about the Hangouts, and I thought maybe this would be a way of playing a show where I wouldn't have to lug my amps through the rain. And that's what started the whole thing.
Okay, so you thought, okay, maybe this is a way for you to play, so you don't have to, get your,
Yeah, move
run
move
around.
my guitar amps
And
around through the rain, and it didn't even really occur to me in that moment that it was going to be so effortlessly global. I really thought, oh, maybe, I don't know if this would work. This could maybe be interesting. And my
okay.
producer and I set up the studio we figured out how to get the music into the Hangout. And actually, I happened to find out who the director of engineering for the Hangouts was. His name is Chi Chu.
Before
I
that.
had heard, like, just maybe a day before. I had been on G Plus for 3 days before I did the first concert.
Oh my God.
That's it. Like, I was on for 3 days. First day, I signed up and filled up my profile. Second day, I met, like, I don't know, 5 people just on the stream, on posts. And I heard about this guy, Chichu. It was like just magic that I heard about it. And I sent him, I think, one little note that was something like, hey, I was thinking of doing a concert through the Hangout, and he basically hit me back and was like, don't do that. It's not built for that. Like, that's not going to work. Don't do that. And so all that happened to get the word out, the only thing that happened was one little blog that was writing, it was called G Plus Headlines. It's actually still around, G Plus Headlines, picked up the story and said, like, oh, what a cool idea. This girl's going to play a concert through the Hangout. The really amazing thing is, what happened was then the night of July 16th, I stood in front of this computer, except it was over there because we hadn't even set it up right.
Yeah.
But are people going to be there? How do you know if anybody's there? Set it up. Make sure it's working.
And I pressed at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I pressed start a Hangout, and nobody was there. and I thought, oh my God, what if nobody shows up? But then 8:01. And then a face popped in, and another face popped in, and another face popped in. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, there's people. Hi, this is so crazy. and
you don't know these people.
No, and I didn't know them. They were just strangers they're not strangers, they're geniuses, and that's what I call them. But there were these amazing people from all over the world. There was someone from Norway. There was someone from the UK. And that night changed my life forever. Oh my God, that's the coolest thing. Okay, you guys, I'm like crying. In that moment, I realized, that it felt like something had happened. My dreams were coming true before my eyes. This idea of being able to play for people all over the world and to be able to connect with people through my music, which is what every musician dreams of. It was happening before my eyes, and it was overwhelming. It was really emotionally just such an incredible night. What I didn't know was that as I was playing, the word was spreading on Google Plus. And people were writing on my wall, on the stream. They were saying, I want to get in, and they were saying, this girl's playing a concert, and the word was spreading. In fact, it spread all the way back to Chi Chu, who then actually ended up getting into the concert and started trying to adjust the technology on the fly to let more people in, which was crazy because I'm sure the Hangouts lock out at 10 people. You can only get 10 people into a Hangout. Yeah. So what happened was I was just playing, completely oblivious to the fact that there was a buzz starting, and I was just so excited to play for 10 people,
10 people in front of you.
and to talk to them and to see their faces. And so we were just chatting and playing and having a great time. And then somebody had to go, and somebody new popped in, and that new person said, they're beating down the door. They're lined up around the block. Everybody wants to get in. And that's the dream, is to have a line around the block at your show, And so what I did was, we decided in that moment, the people in the room with me decided we should maybe rotate these front row seats. And so what happened was we started this etiquette of rotating the seats. So people would stay for a few songs, we would chat, we would get to know each other a little bit, and then they would leave and they would let somebody else in. And so that night I ended up playing for 6.5 hours straight.
Wow.
to meet as many people as possible and sing for as many people as possible.
Crazy.
But yeah, it was amazing. So that was really exciting, and that was before we were even streaming them live. So people were just waiting to get in and waiting for.
That was the first concert.
This was
right?
the first concert. Yeah, this was the first
Yeah.
concert. So there was no way to watch it unless you were in there. And so we rotated the seats for 6.5
Got it.
hours and played for people all over the world. And there were some really just absolutely standout life-changing moments. Like there was this wonderful guy named Martin in Norway. He showed us the sun rising in Norway through his screen, through his little window.
Wow.
He turned his laptop, and we got to see the sunrise in Norway. And then, you know, there was an amazing moment where this guy popped in with these two adorable little girls, his daughters.
Yeah.
And I realized how bright it was in their little window. And I said, "Where are you guys?" And they said, "We're in Australia." And I realized that it was already Sunday morning there, and it was still
Yeah.
nighttime. It was still Saturday night here. And those moments actually
Wow.
made their way into my little G Plus inspired song called Plus One Me. And
Yeah.
they ended up being those first lines. I watched the sunrise in Norway through your laptop screen. It never felt so good to be seen as when you looked at me. Nighttime here, morning in Australia. And I never felt so alive. And I never felt so in love. So they made it
Nice.
right into the song, and they know it. So
Yeah.
that was really cool. And that was the first
Wow.
night. That was the first concert.
So what did you learn from the first concert that you took to the second concert?
What I learned from the first concert that I took to the second concert, I learned so much. I mean, I learned that this was, you know, the key to connecting for me, and the key to the
Okay.
dream that I've been dreaming for such a long time of being able to instantly connect globally with people all over the world. And so we took that. Actually, the first and second concerts were only a week apart. So
Yeah.
I was just so inspired. We wrote that song that I was just singing a little bit of, Plus One Me, in between the two concerts. It actually started in the first, we started it as a jam in the first concert. And
Yeah.
then some people through the community, such an amazing community, came to us to help us try to figure out how to stream it live. And so that was the big innovation between the first and second concerts. And yeah, so the second concert was streamed live. So even if you weren't in the room, you could watch it live.
Yeah.
And that was really exciting and totally changed the game. And that night, 9,000 people in 100 countries watched live.
Wow, 9,000 people.
In 100 countries watched live. Yeah. And so I literally went from playing for about, let's see, that little gig that I played in the rain,
Yeah.
maybe 30 people, maybe, you know, and then to just under 100 people in the first concert who were just coming into the room. And then in addition to all the people that we got into the room, it was like over 100 people. I think it was 197 people who got into the Hangout room during the second concert. In addition to them, 9,000 people from 100 countries watched live. And
Wow.
and they were all writing to me. And there was an amazing moment. I can send you the link, or I could actually even show you now if you want. There was a really fun moment in the second concert when I would ask people what city they were from, you know, because it's so
Yeah.
exciting to me to hear. And for all of us, you know, and what's fun is I don't just get to meet these people. Everybody in the room gets to meet everybody else, and,
Yeah.
and we all get to hang out together and to connect through the songs, which is
Yeah.
so cool. And so there, at one point there was a guy who popped in, and he was sitting in bed, and and he was just relaxing in bed, and I just said, "What city is your bed in?" like as a joke, and everybody thought this was hilarious, apparently. And it's such a brilliant community, these people that I call geniuses, who I love so much, that within 5 minutes somebody said to me, "Daria, go check out whatcityisyourbeddin.com," and it was a Google map where people were tagging themselves all over the map of wherever they were watching from.
What city is your bed in?
Yeah, well, here I can like share the screen because we're in the new Hangouts here, so I can.
Yeah, show me the new stuff. Show me how this thing works.
Okay, cool. So this is one of the new Hangouts, so you can actually share your screen, which is pretty cool. Here, so that's the map.
Wow.
Or here, wait, I can actually. see. It's a little easier to see if I do it like this.
How did you share your screen? Oh, I see. Share screen up on top.
Yeah, see up on top, that's how I'm doing it. And then it gives you a choice to pick the windows. So right here, let me try.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really cool.
wow.
So this is the map that they created, and it's got comments all the way up and down the sides. You can see it for yourself here. Here, I'm just typing that into the chat for you too. So you can just click on that link too. Do you see that?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
What city is
Is that hilarious? They're so cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was the second concert. And what was also really exciting was that during that concert, people were starting to get to know the songs,
Yeah.
which was really it was so exciting for me to have people even requesting to me to play my own songs. And, I'm such a new artist that I didn't have anything for sale online yet or anything. I didn't have an album on iTunes. And so what happened was I asked everyone to help me pick my first single. And they picked You Move Me, just as I would have done. And
Yeah.
I'm sure from listening to You Move Me, what's cool about that song is I wrote that just a few months before I discovered Google+. And I was already dreaming about being able to play for people all over the world. And I sang, all around the world, you move me, you move me. And so we all connected with the fact that this kind of foreshadowed what happened. And it's just so cool. And so we all decided that was the perfect song to release. And then what I did was, if you go and buy the song on iTunes or on Amazon, where you can get it now, or listen to it on my website, you can hear that I asked the geniuses on Google Plus to record their voices for me saying the words "You Move Me" in their own languages. And that became the introduction to the song. So my very first single that I ever released to the world starts not with my voice, but with the voices of these people that I met. And we have people saying "You Move Me" in Indonesian and Chinese and Japanese and 2 African languages and French and Italian and Spanish and Portuguese. And it's just amazing to hear. And really, it just moves me so much every time I hear it.
Totally.
So that was really cool, and that sort of happened because of the second concert as well. Yeah.
So in the second concert, you didn't have anything for sale on iTunes.
No.
So you asked the audience to pick your single and also had them participate in the song. And you put them in the song.
Yeah, we used SoundCloud.
Awesome.
The website
You
SoundCloud.
use what?
SoundCloud. Yeah, and so they went to SoundCloud, and on SoundCloud you can actually hit a big record button and just send me the recordings. So we used that, which was really cool. And then they also let me pick the photo to be the cover of my first EP that has the first songs on it, which ended up just being a little Instagram photo that I took on my phone while I was recording one of the songs. And so then in between the second and third concert, what happened was we were able, because of all of the excitement of what was going on, the fact that the word was starting to spread, the mainstream media was starting to hear about it, we were able to rush those songs onto iTunes within a few hours with the help of a website called TuneCore. And so then that was available, TuneCore. And so then that was available the night of the third concert that came out so that everybody could buy it, which was really cool. Okay. And that night we actually hit number 22 on Amazon MP3, which was just amazing.
Right when you had it out.
When we got it out, and then as we played the concert that night, as people were buying it as we were playing. And like I said, the second concert, so it was being live streamed and we were rotating. So we ended up playing for 7.5 hours that night.
Yeah.
And then this third concert had a further integration into it, which was really cool. One of the things we really learned from the second concert was that the audio could sound a lot better. And that's because that's what Chi-Chu had warned me about all this time ago, was that the Hangouts are not built for music. They're not designed, the audio is not designed to make music sound good, and it's made for talking. And so there's a lot about that makes music difficult. Like, it will pull the background tracks sort of out and because they think it's background noise. And so we were on the lookout to find a way to make the sound better. And
Yeah.
luckily, we got to team up with somebody who had a YouTube Live account. And so we were able to put our sound straight through YouTube Live and through the Hangout and stream the whole thing through YouTube Live, which gave us these little embeddable players that
Yeah.
people could share, just like you share a YouTube video. And so
Yeah.
for the third concert, those video players were shared like all over the internet. They were all
Wow.
over the G Plus stream. They were all over Facebook even. They were on people's websites, and they were everywhere. So that when that concert happened, you didn't have to be in one place to watch it. You could watch it anywhere on one of those little players. And that concert,
Oh.
that new innovation was so new that they can't even accurately totally count everybody that was watching. But they've estimated that it was at the very least over 200,000 people watching live.
Wow. So you had like 5 or 10 people circling you and before your hangout, and then do you remember about how many followers do you had after the third concert?
Gee, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that I shot up during that concert. I had, I don't know, at least 1,000 or 2,000 people circle me during that night, during that show, which was really cool.
Was it the biggest sharp spike that you've seen out of your
It's
three
actually
concerts?
stayed pretty steady since then, which is really cool. And obviously, if I do concerts or if I do events, it spikes. But
Okay.
it stays steady and growing all the time, which is really exciting.
I see. Okay. So after the third concert, which is in sometime in August, so what have
Yeah, it
you?
was the end of August.
So what did you do between August till now that you steadily growing your audience?
Right. So basically, it's so exciting because all of this started to create such a buzz. And so now I've been working really hard on not only planning Concert 4, which is going to be bigger and better and huger. And I'm almost ready to announce the date of that.
Oh.
Working on a few things
Yeah.
to finalize that. But so I've been working on that. I've been doing really exciting things, interviews. I've done some hangouts from special events that I've been able to go to. I'm starting to get booked to speak and to perform all over the place now, which is really cool. And so I was in New York City at Broadcast Music Incorporated, BMI, doing a talk there, and I got people into a hangout with me, and so I was taking them around New York City on my laptop, which was really cool, and
Cool.
doing all sorts of events like that, doing interviews, and making a lot of plans. And now there was a pretty big announcement today. I think you saw that I'm going to be doing a TED Talk in
Wow.
November. Yeah, which is really amazing. And so I've been working on all of these plans, and now I'm really excited now that things are locking in that I'm going to be able to do the next concert. And basically there's going to be some stuff in October too, toward the end of October, but my entire November, I'm basically going to be on the road doing live shows and special events. And I'm going to be doing hangouts from those events. So this is what I promised and what I wanted, because I've been so moved by you guys. You're literally moving me now.
Totally,
where I can
physically,
actually
emotionally.
go places, which was the other dream, was to be able to see the world and perform for people, all over the world. And so now we're doing that through Hangouts, and we're doing it live and in person, and incorporating Hangouts into that, which I think is a new innovation that nobody else is doing, which is really exciting. We'll probably be the first concerts on the road where we're integrating this. And then we're also going to things like TED Talk to tell them about how I really, I see this as the new era of interactive, interpersonal, international entertainment and communication, where we can all interact and we can all share our talents and really be together no matter where we are, which I think is really cool. So there's a lot in store coming up. And then also I've been working on new music and getting the full album ready so that we can release that.
Okay. Wow, a lot. So you really got a lot going on, huh?
Yeah, it's been really busy, and I
That's good.
absolutely love the pace of it, and just really grateful. I'm really grateful to everybody who's listening and who's watching and who's interacting with me, because I had this dream of being able to sing for people all over the world and to connect with everybody, but I also had a dream of finding people that I felt connected to, and
Yeah.
people that I felt inspired by. And I
Yeah.
never really found like a particular group of friends in any of the little towns I lived in or any of that kind of thing. I always felt like I wanted to connect with something out there, and I found you geniuses because of this. And so I'm just incredibly grateful to all of you for going on this journey with me and making it happen, making it possible. And so I'm just grateful and excited to share and to bring you guys with me everywhere I get to go,
Great.
and with all the stuff that we get to do together and really building this new format together.
So out of everything that you've been through in the last 3 months,
Yes.
okay, and what are the key takeaways for you?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I think that, fierce joy works.
Fierce joy work? Okay.
No, it works, and gratitude and interaction and connection. That those are the things that are innately human. That's what we're built to be moved and to move each other, right? And that's the key component to life and to art and to everything that we do, including technology. When art and music and technology, when they exceed our expectations, when they connect with us in a way that touches our heart or our soul or moves us, and that's what we're striving for, right? And so I think if you look for those moments, if you look to connect from a genuine human place and you share genuinely from your heart and listen, that's my other favorite part of this is actually I genuinely love meeting each person. I'm loving talking to you right now. And I just wish there were 100 hours in every day so that I had time to meet everybody and talk to everyone as long as I want, because obviously you can tell I'm a talker and I could just go on forever. And I genuinely love to hear where you guys are from and what you're up to. And I think that genuine connection is what makes it special for everybody involved. And that's what makes this format so special, is because there's something innately human about being able to look someone in the eyes and talk to them, and you get a sense of who they are. And I think that's the game changer, So I think that the thing that I would take away is that if I ever had a moment of doubt or fear, on this path as I was leading up to this, I hope that I can take this now and also for myself in the future and to remind other people that your dreams are possible, and that sometimes you just have to believe longer than anyone else. You just have to hold on, and you have to work harder, and you have to believe more. But you mostly have to have that fierce joy and just not let it go. And I was lucky enough to be raised with, my mom always told me, don't have a fallback because you'll fall back on it, and so she
Wow.
gave me the strength and the determination to, absolutely believe 100%. This is what you're supposed to do. If you know what it is you're supposed to do, you got to do it, even if you don't know how it's going to work. And even if it doesn't work for a long time, or if you think it's not working, you might find that it's all just been leading up, because you can look back once you get to a place like where I'm at now, which is I'm just at the beginning, I hope,
Totally.
But you can look back at, I've only been alive for a short amount of time, but even just the time that I've been alive, look back and almost see the meaning in everything, especially the moments that were the darkest or the ones where you thought, oh man, this isn't going to work, because each one of those moments taught me something. And for me, the story was really learning how to come out through the darkness, out through the fear, and finding that joy to be able to sort of crack things open. So now I hope to inspire other people and to take that forward for myself and maybe skip over those bumps and not worry about them so much when they come up, because you can say to yourself, oh, this is just something on the path to where I'm going, and I just got to keep going. So that's what I would say.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's awesome. Wow. Okay, because it's quite counterintuitive. Like, especially when you're doubting yourself. Maybe people around you could be, even the people that are closest to you could be saying, they just care for you with the best, intention. They, and the thing that you said about don't have a fallback, right? That's very counterintuitive, because that's something we all kind of want, like, to be secure, I guess.
Right. And, so everybody's got to know themselves, right? And you have to do what makes you feel good and what makes you feel right. You have to claim your own fierce joy, and so fierce joy for you could be, having a lot of security and going after your dream, or having a dream that is very, very, horizontal. It doesn't have to be such a climb. Your dream could be having a beautiful family and a beautiful home, and that's just as important and just as beautiful and just as challenging and just as inspiring. It could be anything. But for me, I guess I was craving a sort of a high flame experience of really wanting to go for it on a crazy level. And for me, I think because of the way I was raised, it was this idea of music 100%, go for it, and it is scary, but it was that, sort of high flame experience that I guess I was craving, I was looking for. But it is intense, and I would say, that find your own version of the fierce joy and go for it. But I think it's a personal belief of mine. I think that everyone has something they're here to do, and something a reason why they're here. And so I think if you know what that is, it's your obligation to find a way of doing it. And if you don't know what it is, get about figuring that out right away, because there's something for you. There's something that's just for you. And that's what we all want to hear. That's what we all want to see and want to interact with.
Wow. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for spending your time with me. So where can people find you, Daria?
Okay, so you can find me, dariamusk.com is a really easy place to go. And it's got a bunch of links up at the top too for Google Plus and for Twitter and for YouTube. I'm obviously on all of those sites. So I would say go to dariamusk.com, and then come and circle me on Google Plus if you don't know your way around yet, or if you're new, just come and circle me and I'll show you around, and I'll get you into my next Hangout concert, and we'll have a great time. Okay. And and then obviously all your favorite social networking sites, YouTube and Twitter and all of those things. But Daria Musk would be a good place to start, so that it has all those places. And then if you'd like to, definitely go to iTunes and Amazon to grab the music, and you can get the You Move Me EP on there now. And then you will be able to get my first album when it comes out soon.
Do you know about when it's going to come out?
We're still working on songs, and we're gonna do some more collaboration with the community too for the full album. But definitely get on G Plus and get on my website so that you can learn about that stuff, and I'll get you guys involved. So maybe you'll end up on the album with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it for this interview. Isn't that cool? Now, if you've got new ideas on how to use Google Plus Hangout to build a fan base, create a product, or launch your product, leave a comment below this video. Let us know so we can all learn from each other. And if you like this video, like it and share with your friends. You guys know what to do. Now, if you never want to miss an interview, or if you'd like to interact and get support with like-minded people for your product launch, come to productlaunchthatworks.com, get on the email list, and join our community. Thank you so much for watching, and look forward to seeing you soon.